You can take a guy like Canelo. This guy can do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Floyd Mayweather stirred up the boxing scene once again by publicly challenging Terence Crawford shortly after Canelo Alvarez's latest bout. Known for his self-belief and unbeaten career, Mayweather signaled that he is open to stepping back into the ring for another major event. The idea of him sharing the ring with Crawford, widely viewed as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters today, quickly caught the attention of fans and analysts. The potential clash has sparked new excitement and debate across the sport, raising the level of anticipation around what could be another high-profile showdown.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7-10-9 rounds clear and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence Bud Crawford kept his perfect record intact with a unanimous decision victory over Canelo Alvarez, capturing the Undisputed Super Middleweight Championship. The bout was held at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas on September 13, 2025, and stood out as one of the year's biggest events. Stepping up 2 divisions, Crawford entered with confidence despite Canelo's natural size and reputation for power. Throughout the contest, Crawford dictated the tempo, relying on sharp technique, fast movement, and well-timed combinations to neutralize those advantages.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I love the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen. And I knew we would have known after the first, second, third round. You feel what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, start to wear him down, because Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, Bud. I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, but he's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease. Right? You got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by gaining Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was smaller and everything else, these fighters are still humans and they hear what the people are saying. Canelo was, Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to the Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
Heading into the matchup, Floyd Mayweather Jr. showed his support for Terence Crawford, believing he had the ability to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Despite Crawford being viewed as the underdog, Mayweather reportedly placed a $50,000 moneyline wager on him at plus 148 odds. After Crawford secured a unanimous decision victory, the bet cashed out for $124,000. The move reflected Mayweather's confidence in Crawford and underscored his understanding of the fight game and how matchups play out.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're going to hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and made some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. So I don't expect anything different.
Ahead of the bout, Floyd Mayweather Jr. backed Terence Crawford, trusting in his ability to overcome Canelo Alvarez. Even with Crawford labeled the underdog, Mayweather reportedly placed a $50,000 moneyline bet on him at plus 148 odds. When Crawford secured a unanimous decision victory, the wager returned $124,000. The outcome highlighted Mayweather's belief in Crawford and showcased his sharp grasp of boxing matchups and how they unfold.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number.
Crawford has always respected Mayweather, both for his skill in the ring and for the way he handled his career and built his legacy. That respect eventually developed into a real connection between them. Crawford has received advice and insight from Mayweather over the years, taking it to heart and applying it to his own path. Their relationship shows a bond based on ambition, appreciation for legacy, and a shared understanding of what it takes to reach the highest level in boxing.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, bro. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat it.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person.
At a recent press conference, Canelo publicly stated, "I believe Crawford is much better than Floyd Mayweather." A striking comment considering Mayweather handed him his first professional defeat back in 2013 when he was just 23 and undefeated. Crawford's showing stood out, featuring quicker hand speed, smoother movement, and sharp strategy as he outboxed Alvarez over the full 12 rounds. Even after jumping up 2 divisions, Crawford managed to offset Canelo's power through disciplined defense and perfectly timed counters.
With Fight Hub TV right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
it's my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because imagine. So I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
After Canelo Alvarez said Crawford ranks above Floyd, Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, pushed back strongly. He implied the remark was meant to elevate Crawford's image, which in turn could make Canelo's own loss to Floyd appear more understandable. Jeff also stressed that Canelo faced Floyd during his prime years, rejecting the idea that Mayweather was past his best at the time. When it comes to defense, he argued that although Crawford has great ability, Mayweather's defensive mastery still stands alone.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost. Yeah, but man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
are you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
To
make himself look like he did something great.
Trainer Greg Hackett has weighed in on the discussion surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Terence Crawford, saying he still rates Mayweather as the better fighter. Despite Crawford's notable victory over Canelo Alvarez, Hackett feels Mayweather's defensive skill and ring awareness set him apart. He acknowledges Crawford's ability, but emphasizes that Mayweather's unbeaten record and achievements in several weight divisions place him higher in historical standing. His comments add to the ongoing debate in boxing about who truly separates themselves in this era.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter, Jeff?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do. He was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look so great to me.
Eddie Hearn has publicly disagreed with Canelo Alvarez's statement that Terence Crawford surpasses Floyd Mayweather Jr. He argued that Crawford's resume does not match Mayweather's, pointing out that several of Crawford's opponents were no longer at their peak when he fought them. While Hearn recognized Crawford's major victories, including the win over Canelo, he maintained that Crawford hasn't faced the same level of elite opposition across different weight divisions that Mayweather did throughout his career.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault. His resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now, Ricky Burns is a great fighter. He's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Carmel Martin recently doubled down on his belief that Floyd Mayweather remains the greatest of all time. Even with the spotlight on Terence Crawford's surge, Martin said Mayweather's flawless record, sharp ring IQ, defensive brilliance, and success in several weight divisions created a benchmark that few fighters ever reach. He gave Crawford credit, particularly for the victory over Canelo, but emphasized that true greatness comes from sustained excellence, long-term dominance, and making history, such as staying unbeaten at the highest level. In his view, Crawford is outstanding, but Mayweather's legacy stands on a different level.
Where do you sit with this? Because 2 pound-for-pound greats of this era. Canelo, we see the resume. Crawford, 2-time undisputed. Potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford like a little bigger.
Taller, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So really just we're gonna see tomorrow. How it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and both guys coming ready. So we're just gonna have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is greatest. But does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonard's, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well, because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Meanwhile, Crawford addressed the ongoing comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr., emphasizing that fighters should be evaluated within the context of their own era. He expressed confidence in being the best of his generation, just as Mayweather was in his, making direct comparisons unnecessary. This underscores Crawford's pride in his accomplishments and his focus on shaping his own legacy. After Crawford's landmark victory over Canelo Alvarez, his longtime trainer Brian Bomack McIntyre advised against rushing into another fight. He noted that Crawford had just completed one of the most significant wins of his career and deserved time to rest. After such an intense training camp and a grueling 12-round battle, proper recovery is essential. Bomack recommended that Crawford take a well-earned break to recharge physically and mentally, allowing him to fully savor his achievement before mapping out the next phase of his storied career.
You know what? We're going to get back in the gym. And we're going to assess that. And, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this is thing.
Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. Everybody.
Bernie Thigh, a close associate of Terence Crawford, voiced sharp criticism after the Canelo fight, declaring, "They tried to rob us." He argued that the judges' scoring didn't fully capture Crawford's control, claiming several rounds were scored unfairly or marked too close. In Bernie's view, Crawford dictated the pace, showcased superior boxing skills, and consistently outworked Canelo. Yet the scorecards didn't reflect his dominance adequately. Even with a unanimous decision, he felt the margins were too narrow. His comments underline how judging controversies can still ignite strong reactions, even in fights that appear clearly decided.
This is the second time you destroy every myth. Can he take the punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything. Didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
Was in the pocket. Was in the pocket.
Turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed it. Crawford the best, man.